Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much. I do have my voice back, my friends, but I have something important to say, and it's reminiscent to what Alex just said. If any of you, my friends, want to say a few words yourself, please come here and do so. We always welcome people who want to send this message themselves. Wait, was that the thumbs up or the middle finger?
Thumbs up and a whistle.
Okay, cool. Because in this darkness it's difficult to see. Sometimes we get support. Usually we get support in these situations. Usually people pass by and say, "Yeah, Slava Ukraini," or they clap, or they say something in support. But my favorites, honestly, is when they say something to heckle us, like "Ooh, Slava Putin, Slava России," something like that. There was one particularly interesting situation where there was a different rally that shall not be named because I do not try to. To oppose directly these other rallies. But everybody knows what rally it was. Everybody probably knows what kind of rally it most likely was. No, it was actually a different one. But the pig pen, I can mention the pig pen. There was a group of people at 10 Downing Street who basically camped there. They lived their whole lives there at 10 Downing Street. I'm not joking. They set up a tent, they slept there, and they lived there. And I heard, this is something that was told to me, I heard that every single week they would get a little thick envelope given to them by someone in a very who was very nicely dressed and with a little bit of a Russian accent. But this is just something that I have heard. This is not something that I will immediately go with. But truth of the matter is, my friends, that the Russian terrorist regime is pouring a lot of money into their propaganda to try to brainwash people all over the earth. They are trying to get the people who might be susceptible to this kind of propaganda, who might believe in it. That is why a lot of the people who come to heckle us, unfortunately, have mental issues, and it's nothing to laugh about. It's a very, very, very low blow that the Russian terrorist regime is doing. They're doing this propaganda that targets particular people, specific people who might have some kind of an issue, who might feel disenfranchised.
You mentioned, what was this other rally?
It was the pro-Palestinian rally, Tommy.
Oh, the pro.
Yes. They were there on the opposite. There we go. Now I've done the provocation. I can go home now. My friends, I'm saying this because I've been asked by our organizers not to provoke the people from the other rallies, and it's obvious we don't want to provoke them. No, it was a while ago. It was some Russian dude who was in the center of them. What a surprise, right? Russians sympathizing with Hamas. Very, very interesting coincidence there. But this individual, he came out when I was talking about the different terrorist organizations and how Russia was a terrorist state, and he shouted, "Великий Советский Союз!"
Oh, him!
Yes, which in translation means the Great Soviet Union. And then he ran away back into the crowd. And it's very funny, because I would love to engage with these individuals. In fact, I have engaged with some of these individuals in the past. Many of us have. Tommy has. Many people who came with us to the park have. Ames has, to an extent. She sometimes tells them off for saying some very silly things.
Because last night they asked us to delay our rally for to give sympathy and attention.
Oh, that was a funny one.
Attention for them. Now, there's an old Yiddish expression. They might be intent on my destruction. But let me tell you, last night they certainly had chutzpah.
They certainly had what, sorry?
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah, what is that?
Gall, hide, what I mean?
Ah, okay. Well, Tommy, not everybody speaks Yiddish, my friend. Not everybody will get it.
But enough people know.
You gotta translate it for us. You gotta translate it for us.
They
Because
got some hide. They want to kill me. They want to destroy a country that would be a place of safety for me, even though a lot of them are so thick, and I've got it online proof. Some of them, when they say from the river to the sea, a lot of them don't even know what they're talking about. But last night, they came to Pablo and asked for sympathy. Oh, we're on the side of humanity.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they said. And they asked us for 20 minutes from our rally. And we gave them the 20 minutes. We allowed them to have those 20 minutes to save the lives of those who have died, of the doctors who died in the Gaza Strip. We allowed them to do so. We gave away time of our rally, which, by the way, we have a limited time ourselves to be there at 10 Downing Street. When those 10 minutes had come to an end, they did not stop. So I went to them myself and I asked them, how much longer is this going to last? They'd give me a two-faced answer. They didn't give me a clear time. So I told them, okay, my friends, we will start at 7. Make sure you finish before that time. They appreciated it, and then they asked us to provide them with our sound system. Now that's what just killed it for me. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to laugh or to curse at them. But I contained myself and I simply said that no, we can't give you our sound system. It will take too long to carry it from one side to the other. Which it would. Oh, they wanted the whole sound system because apparently they didn't have the microphones and the columns. My friends,
from the river to the sea, your sound system will be free. Yes, well, since we couldn't say anything Ukrainian whilst they were
something like
there,
that.
So I had to go and I had to make the best use of my time by singing Hatikva.
Something like that. Something like that. But some of our biggest hackers are the people who believe in conspiracy theories the most. The sort of people who believe that the earth is flat. That kind of person. Those are the people, the backbone, the hardcore defendants of Putin. And somehow they convince themselves that Putin is a defender of Christian values. Because of course, nothing defends Christian values more than declaring a war against another Christian country. That truly proves the Christianity of the terrorist Russian regime. And Putin, keep in mind, is the same man who said that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest catastrophe of the 20th century. His words. I'm quoting him right now, my friends. What was one of the many things the Soviet Union was infamous for? Religious persecution. Not only against Christians, not only against Muslims, not only against Jews, against all religions. But somehow, these nutcases, these idiotic people, make this conclusion in their small-brained heads that somehow Putin is the representative of their own ideologies, of the Christian values. It would be very interesting to see them go to Russia and live among the Russians who live in very terrible and miserable lives, very low quality of life. Keep in mind, as we have said before, Russia does not include Moscow and St. Petersburg in terms of the quality of life. Russia is away of those countries because those countries are European countries. Those cities. I apologize. Small mistake, my friends. I hope nobody will clip it. Although, in the rally that we've had against the conspiracy theorists, there was one very funny individual who I've met today. So I have this puppy right here. And all the Ukrainian people, the Ukrainian community believes that it's very important to support the British culture and the British people, as the British people have supported us through this war, and we are very grateful for that. It's important for us to show our support for this country also. And when I went there, I've met a certain individual who acted like he didn't recognize me. It was an individual who went to the conspiracy theory rally, and he filmed a little TikTok video with me in the background as I was debating with one of their leaders. And he continued to speak to the camera. Oh, but this guy, why is he here? Why is he talking to us? Why doesn't he go to Ukraine to fight? First things first, it's very interesting that not a single pro-Ukrainian person who I've ever met, or who any of us have met, have ever made the point of, wow, why aren't you in Ukraine fighting? Secondly of all, if every single man, woman and child of Ukrainian blood went to Ukraine, we would still be outnumbered by the Russians. And if every single one of us went there and picked up a gun, Ukraine would still lose. If Ukraine did not get the weapons that Ukraine needs to win this war. The Ukrainian people are not throwing their own as cannon fodder with a brick on their hand, just like the Soviets were doing. That is what the Russian terrorist regime is doing, my friends. When they were taking Bakhmut, they were sending hordes of prisoners against the Ukrainian defenses. Prigozhin famously was recruiting from Russian prisons. The lowest scum of Russia given a gun, and sent forward to Ukraine. That is what the Russian terrorist regime used to do. That is what they are still doing right now. Although, under wraps. Now the Wagner Group exists as a mere fragment of the Russian military because they got too big for their own shoes. Prigozhin had bigger ambitions than what Putin was willing to give him. And that is why Putin put him down. Not for the crimes that Prigozhin had committed. Putin had praised those. In fact, after Prigozhin died, Putin has made a point of supporting Prigozhin's actions in Ukraine against the Ukrainian people. He made a point of supporting every single war crime Prigozhin has committed. He said Prigozhin did a great job in Ukraine, waging his genocidal war. Well, obviously, he did not use those words. Putin still refuses to admit that this war is a war. But we can all read between the lines, and we can all see that the real point of this war was never to liberate or to save anybody. The real point was to destroy Ukraine as a separate entity from Russia, to destroy the Ukrainian people, to destroy the Ukrainian language, the Ukrainian culture, and if necessary, to annihilate the Ukrainian ethnicity itself.
And enrich Russian elites.
Absolutely. All that so that the Russian elites would be enriched. Absolutely. Just as Prigozhin said so himself. Unfortunately, for a long time, the Holodomor was not recognized as genocide. But I believe around a year ago, it has been recognized at last as a genocide by this country. And we're grateful for that. It's very important to tell the truth in these situations. We must call the spade a spade, my friends. We have to see things how they are. We have to see reality as it is, not as what we want it to be. That is what we have to achieve with our actions. Because if every single person on earth does something to finally end this war, to stop the Russian terrorist regime, then they will stand no chance whatsoever. But if the billions of people who live on this earth and who want to live a better future do nothing, then nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever improve. And it will never matter how many people have good intentions, how many people have silent support. We all must act. We all must do our part. And something very important that has to do with that is that we all must speak to the leaders of our countries. We all must influence politics as much as we can, every single one of us. Send emails to your local MPs. Remind the people around you that the war is not over. This battle is not over. And Russia will not stop until it is stopped for good. Stop Russia, stop the war.
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 Stop Russia.